Hey guys, welcome back to the 5th episode of Peaceful Realm Survival. Stick around as we have a lot planned today to keep up on projects, as last episode was full of them. Today we'll get into a larger farm which I plan to put in a large factory, along with working with some villagers and of course a subscriber shrine. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe as I've been loving the support on past episodes. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I started out by heading over to the Boring Plains, which has a few trees, but I wanted to create a whole forest. So with over 2 stacks of saplings, I was able to bring some life into the area, along with saving some bees. This was already so much better, and I would love to bring a trail through it, but as a reward, I brought one bee nest home for some pollinating, and then I wanted to figure out a path leading to my big build of the episode. So I just brought in my basic pathing I've been doing, along with a step down, and I needed a long path to get around to the future front door of this build. I'm really excited to make a bridge here, and this area is looking really nice and open, enough for a good enough factory. Now I had a little template laid out, but I was still focused on the forest and the pathing of it, as I really wanted to get it all together and looking nice. So I brought in some pathing and connecting it up to the gatehouse. Now I got to work on finishing up a few more spots, along with bringing it over a little bit more, but I really wanted to just fill in the area and just make it look kind of nice, and just get something started for some later projects. And I was really liking the feel of it, so I wanted to go off on some angle and try to get a path going up and down the mountains. So I continued this single block path all the way up to this kind of interesting terrain design where we will be up on top of the hill later on in this video. But what do you guys want me to do in that area? But anyways, the forest ended up being really nice along with the pathing. I wasn't completely done, as I wanted to make one more path heading over to this very flat area of land that I think would make a very nice farm in the future. So I got to placing some dirt and filling it all in and making a nice little area. Okay, and as for one final look, the area is really looking nice, and I like that flattened out area, and I really like all the paths going through everything. But continuing on, I had a lovely look at the map, and I really wish I had it expanded. But last thing in the forest, I wanted to add a few tiki torches, and they're pretty easy to make, but they can get obnoxious with how you have to place the copper upside down. And then I just took it all in for a second, as it does look really awesome and amazing, and I'm really happy with all the work that's been done as you come right through the gate and over by the pond and the houses, and now to the new area. But first, I wanted to go fix up my elytra. After an extremely quick mending of my tools, I got right to work on the factory, as I wanted to get a design laid out with stone bricks and tuff. I wanted to bring out these walls as they would add some extra little detail to it, and this was the basic shape of the first part of the factory, and I even wanted to add a little bit of a more tower, and this was my idea for now, and I definitely wanted to work on that. But I then got started on the structures of the walls and the foundation. After getting in more of the foundations, I wanted to bring in a gradient of polished tuff and tuff along the walls, which I thought turned out really nice. I then got rid of the tower design as I really didn't like it, and I replaced it with the simple stone brick design from before. With this part though, I definitely wanted to go higher and create more of a tower, so I was definitely wanting to get some outlines of this done. Alright, after getting the outline of the building done with its width and height, I wanted to add in some detail using stone and stone brick stairs, which would make this cool line design in the wall. After getting some of the walls done and sadly running out of tuff, I wanted to get a bit of the farm done, as I laid out cobblestone going 17 across for a rail to go on top. But before putting the rails in, I wanted to get an early start on the growth of the grass, as this sheep farm is going to need to be giving the sheep constant grass. But it was already time to go grab some tuff, as I quickly went down to my diamond mine and found a nice little bit, and I went right for it, and it did not take long at all. Alright, so after filling out my inventory with Tuff, I headed back and flew to the beautiful beginning of the factory. I got right to work on the exterior walls and design. And after some repetition, the first layer was done, and I was quite proud of the design so far. Next, I wanted to bring in deep slate brick stairs for the roof, along with slabs towards the top to bring that barn factory feel to the build. So I then just got the outline done with the deep slate brick and brought it together along the top, as my next step is to bring spruce into the inner part of the roof. But of course, before I got to the spruce, as my supplies were low, I went ahead and got an outline for the tower of the factory with the same style. I grabbed all the spruce I could find and started with the tower roof with the stairs. And so after completing that and getting a little done on the main roof, I needed a lot more, and thankfully all it took is one big tree. So after a quick tree chopping and checking out the updated map, I finished up the spruce roof and I was really happy with how it turned out. And just like that, it was all covered and looking really good with only the top part of the tower to finish the exterior. This is getting me really excited for the future and the upcoming terraforming project, as a bridge here will come in handy. But that's enough daydreaming. Back to work as I got more stone stairs and brick stairs to finish out the tower with some cool designs. Stairs always come in handy in making good indentations in your builds, and I definitely don't do it often enough. But hey, leave a comment on what you think. Sweet, so after getting that done, I just needed to fill in the little gaps that the roof doesn't cover, as I started with the tower with a similar designs in the bottom walls, along with the front door. Okay, looking good. Exterior all done and dusted for now, besides some extra detail, but it's been long enough, time to work on the farm, as I got this rail down connecting to a hopper system where the items will be collected. If it wasn't already easy to tell, I am building a sheep farm to get all the wool I need for whatever in the future. I was saving this one grass block for something special, but I stupidly decided AFK and let the grass grow before continuing the farm, which was a very bad idea. Oh, hold up, what's going on? No! Get out of here! What are you guys doing here? I'm just trying to grow grass, get out of here! Oh my god. They are really getting me. I gotta go. This is not... Let's heal up. Oh my god, you're breaking my armor stand? No. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, where were we? Oh yeah, getting all the materials for the farm, as we need 16 observers and 16 dispensers, which of course need bows. I was already loving the feel the factory gave to the place, as I really needed a big building finally, but I got to work placing the observers facing the grass, along with getting a piece of redstone behind each, along with dispensers which will shear the sheep. I then quickly grabbed some sand to smelt in my super smelter, which wow, it's just amazing to have as it's so quick. But next, I wanted to get the glass containers down to hold the sheep. I wonder if you guys noticed a slight change in the farm. But after getting all 16 containers set, and I apologize for glass being hard to see as this is the only time where my texture pack is annoying, but I grabbed some wheat as it was finally time to get the sheep into their new lovely home. Oh yeah, come on out, it's a party y'all, let's get moving this way. Lots of yummy wheat this way, totally, let's go, hooray! So after building some steps up for the sheep, I realized I let them all out idiotically, and god, they were a hassle to track down. Like they went so far, all over the place, I'm not sure why they wanted to escape, I'm only going to give them all the freedom they want. Okay, and finally after getting the last 4 rascals and locking the doors, it was time to get them in their cells, temporary chambers. And this went even worse than I thought, as all of them were so full and bloated from the wheat I gave them that it took forever and more to get them in their spots. But thankfully, after a lot of hard work, it was done, after an embarrassing amount of time. Aw, two lovers, how cute. But I started taking down the stairs, and well, they can be together somewhere else. But I celebrated by putting down the hopper minecart to collect the wool, which after getting the shears all around, I already collected 18. But another tedious part of the farm was collecting the dyes, as there is of course 15 different dyes required, plus the original white sheep. Wow, but it's really kicking in and supplying the wool, but back to it with smelting some cactus for green dye, along with updating the map to see the finished exterior. Back at the factory, I collected all the dyes I could and knew all the rest were out in the wilderness, so it was time for an adventure. My first stop was in the river collecting black dye from squid. Then, thankfully with the cherry forest nearby, I quickly collected some pink petals. I took a pit stop back at the factory to drop off and create more dyes, as most of them can be created with help from others. But one I knew I couldn't get my hands on anywhere near was the brown dye, as you must get cocoa beans for that, so I took a trip to my friends in the jungle. And they have been busy as they seem to have a surplus of mushrooms. And hey look, at that right next to them were some cocoa beans, which of course I was happy to refill after borrowing some. Then I saw this weird, just lectern sitting here, randomly. Which is kind of strange, but I said a little goodbye to the mushrooms, and about to head out I saw this sheep head, so I definitely wanted to take a look, as I saw there was a nice paved path heading up. Now I feel like this was meant to be, as it seems someone got to work with sheep too, as it's this cool sheep head with some chillin' inside. I did not know you could get snow in the jungle, but I guess it's high enough. But as I wanted to take one last fly around, I saw this sweet tower they've been working on, and I really hope more appear soon. And wow, I didn't even notice this sweet house back here. I really love the design, it feels so cozy and the interior is great. I hope y'all enjoy these tours because I love checking out what everyone's been up to. But alright, they got a nice little bedroom up here, a nice little balcony, I like it. Awesome, but time to get back home and get to business. But first, I wanted to make a stop for some XP at the pig grinder. And gosh, this thing is just fun. You just sit here and just let them pile in and it does not take long at all. And then just go ham. Literally. But after a quick trip here and getting all that good XP, it was time to head on out. And checking out that gold beacon there, looks really sweet. But it's good to be home and the factory is just looking great. So I got the brown dye and we have finally done it. So it was now time to get all the dyes on the sheep, which also took longer than I wanted, as all of a sudden none of them wanted to grow like they are shy, but it got colorful quick, and I was super happy with the production, as it's already coming in. Ignore that mud, I don't know how that got there, but with a little organizing, it was starting to look really nice, as they just kept on coming in. So I then wanted to get a little bit of a system going, as right now it was not working, so I got 3 chests down, and just decided that was good for now. But next was the design, so I started with these wood pillars, which I was gonna strip. Then I brought in some polished tough walls, which I think look really nice, and brought in more stripped wood along all the sides, along with bringing in more of the walls. And honestly I was liking it, as I just wanted to bring in and cover the sheep just to kind of add this little bit of a factory feel to it. But I started with the spruce and was just getting all around the place, just getting stuff done. And I am getting there, as I sadly was missing one slab, but I was wanting to finish the door, and which of course the trap doors always make a great design. And I also added these little trap doors outside, which I was going to use for little planters later. I then got a little ceiling figured out for the interior, as I really like this stripped spruce along with slabs, and it always just makes this really cool design. But I was really loving the feel of this area, and I'm excited to use all this space in there. But next I wanted to get a little bit more of a storage system, as I wanted to make a little bit of a basement, which ended up really good, as I had to remove the chest and get it all figured out. But okay, I got something decent started with lots of room for chests, which is all I really need. Then I realized I wanted a side door to the factory, which I'll get right back to, as first I wanted a cool carpet design for some sweet detailing ideas. So just using 3 of each color, I just wanted to bring in this little bit of a 90-degree angle to it, and just brought all the colors in, which I thought turned out really nice. But now back outside to the side door, I just wanted to get some pathing down, along with some leaves as decoration. But next I wanted to get started with the interior of the tower, as I wanted to turn it into a beginner villager trading system. So I brought in some oak for a change, and I was able to construct 3 whole floors. And after using a similar roof design, which also makes for a nice floor, I was happy with the space as I planned to put it to good use. But back to pathing, as I wanted to connect the side doors to the main path. To finish off the decoration, I made sure to get a few flowers down, and I was really liking how it was looking. So I wanted to add a little other flower patch on the other side of the factory, just along the long side. And of course I couldn't forget the front, which turned out amazing. And then I also wanted to get a little pathway going up here, going right through this little original farm garden, and hope to expand it in the future. So hope you guys enjoy me bouncing on all that soil. I realized I should really give this baby horse a shot, and wow, he was a bad jumper, but his speed was definitely nice. So I decided to take him for a whirl around the area, as I was loving how everything was coming together. I brought the horse down to the mines where I just wanted to get a little fishing dock up for a break from the factory, which didn't take long at all, so I went for a ride through the forest, which I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. Let me know in the comments if I should try a dark oak forest instead. I think that could be really sweet. Okay, well, on to the next annoying task, which involves 2 villagers, as thankfully the village by the water wasn't far. So I just plopped them both in a boat, and I headed for the water, which wee! I'm gonna try to bring my horse back with me, which worked out pretty nicely, and I was able to get the first villager to the docks. I then wanted to see just quickly if I could get the villager up the waterfall, but that definitely does not work. So I went ahead and grabbed the second one, which I took them both over to the docks, and next was the tedious part. So I wanted to build a little bit of a rail system that would just take them right over to the factory, and after doing that, yeah. I do not work with villagers much at all, and clearly I have no clue how the rail system works, but I fixed that and got one up there, and then the other one just did not want to go in the boat. But thankfully after a while, I got them both over to the area where I'm going to make a little villager breeder. Alright, so after getting them all enclosed, I wanted to change my design setup with starting with stone brick at the bottom, and then for the area where the babies want to go, where the beds is over there. And then with this fancy trapdoor, the babies will just not even think it's there and just fall right through, and they're gonna fall right into this hole where I will have a minecart system set up. And oh wow, they are already breeding, so must be working nice. But I finished up the little collection area and made sure the villagers weren't able to get out, and then I started planting the crops for the villagers to do. And just look at them go, planting the crops, it's so cool. And I forgot the water for a bit, but after putting it in, it was clear that we already had 2 villagers ready to go. And then I just got some leaves outside for some extra decoration, along with obviously covering the area, which turned out really nice. Now it was time for the house design, as I just wanted to send it and see how it turns out, as I started with adding stairs to bring out the next level, and then I brought in oak as I had a ton of it, and got started with some simple beams. For the walls, I went with stripped oak and oak plank design, which always turns out nice, and just like that, I had the walls complete. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, and then I added in the glass I had left so no one would fall into the farm, along with stairs going into the house. Sweet, by the looks of it we have our first grown villager ready to be shipped off to the factory to become a librarian, so I just made the best path to get to the factory and had him on his way. I was a little low on rails, but I didn't think I was this low. I missed a spot, and oh, that is close. Okay, thank God, that works for me. Oh my gosh, that was too close. But then I took him up again, and thankfully he went all the way, so I pushed him right into his new home. Now, if you've ever used villagers before, you know it can be quite difficult to get the right trade. So after many attempts, I was able to get mending at 16 emeralds, which works great for me, and honestly it did not take long at all. So I grabbed my paper and got right to trading with them. In the villager mood, I wanted to go check on my villagers down in the igloo, which I have not seen in a while. and he sells paper for even cheaper, so I definitely wanted to up my emeralds, and I just sold them both completely out. Alright, so heading out here. Hello? Evil bunny? Kill. Must kill. Oh my god, he's running. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Oh my gosh. Okay, he had to. He had to die. But wow, look at this view from above. Looking pretty sweet. But then I wanted to get my second villager in, as he was already grown too, which did not take much time at all. After looking around for some more paper, I went back to the librarians and realized that baby that got out all the way over here, he must really want to read and learn, so I got right to getting the best trade possible out of both of the new additions to the building. Thankfully, I was able to get 2 books, as one was Protection 4 and one was Silk Touch. And yeah, look at these guys, they're enjoying their life here. Pretty good. So I then took some bone meal over to the sugarcane farm in order to get some more, and if you guys were ever curious, that's what that button does. So after turning on the farm, we'll let it roll in for a while. It seems like I had quite a bit stocked up there, but let's just wait it out a little bit and let the bone meal run through. Alright, as the sun was setting, I'll turn off the machine and see what I got. Wow. Yeah, nice. So this is a lot of paper, which I'll just use to trade right back to them for emeralds. And if you guys were curious, they have a nice little bed area up here, you know, with a nice little window to look out. But over here, these guys are loving their time here, so I thought it was finally time to get started on the roof, which I wanted to bring in deep slate bricks. I wanted to go ahead with a Japanese roof design, as it can be easily done using slabs in each corner of the roofing. Definitely giving me flashbacks to my Winter Realm days. Make sure to check out that video if you haven't seen it, as there's a sweet Japanese castle in Jungle Village. But I then brought in this interesting basalt and deep slate design as I increased the height of the roof, and I made a second layer, which I thought turned out great and looking good on the map as well. And now just the finishing touches on the roof, with just a little bit of a design up top. So I was pretty happy with that. But I then instantly wanted to get onto a pond because I just did not have enough build in my life. So I got out with a nice simple one and carved it out right where the sheep used to be. And now with some bone meal, I added some nice coral, and I thought it turned out really nice. Oh my gosh, hi kitty. But yeah, like I've said before, just adding water just adds so much to areas, and it just is that blue that you need and so much green. But I finished off the glass observation for the villagers, and it was all looking really nice. I definitely had plans for this area along with a bridge, but up next was finally the subscriber shrine, so I had to find a good place to put it. Okay. I feel like this left hill would look really well, so I decided to get right to terraforming. Along with some pathing, as on top of the hill is gonna need a path all the way down. Now I wanted to get a plan laid out before I got into it, as I definitely need a stone base. But getting a little distracted, looking out into the wilderness, I was really excited for the future, as over by the Nether portal I have big plans for a few episodes from now, but we'll have to be thinking about in the future. Okay, but you know what? Let's just do a little time skip. So, we have a lot going on here with bamboo and custom cherry trees everywhere, along with a nice path heading all the way up to the new shrine. The cherry trees are simple using dark oak planks and slabs, and I even added in some wheat around that just needs a little more time to grow. But to the grand entrance of the shrine, as it just looks amazing towering over, along with a nice koi pond, and around back a beautiful area to meditate and think, and more importantly check out our progress. Heading back around, I added a backside staircase for future trails, which I hope to bring all the way over near the Nether portal. But let's head back up front, as I know y'all are interested on the interior. I brought in that similar slab roof design along with some banners from the sheep farm. The new big pots are also a sweet addition to the game. But inside we have a simple area with some tables on the side, and in the middle a sacred book that powers my base with light. See, the book knows all, as it knew what I was going to be building today with the factory and villagers, and even the creation of itself. I don't know, I just found this book, man, it's crazy. It seems it already has next episode's plans. Well, I definitely did need a better storage room for my stuff, along with expanding my river. But anyways guys, that's all I have time for today, as I absolutely loved making this episode, as with the villager breeder being a must along with the wool farm to help with builds in the future. I would love if you guys would like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments, as we have a lot coming up. Thanks for watching as always. P out.